Let's say you've bought a leather belt online or in a charity shop and you've got it and you discover that it's too long for you. What do? Well, do not do what this person did and simply put a hole that was just an appropriate length for him, because what you end up with is the end of the belt here is way too long, and that then wraps all the way around and looks a bit ridiculous. So what should you do? Now in this case, this is a Timberland belt and it's finished at the end with the Timberland logo, and most people who buy a Timberland belt would probably want to keep the Timberland logo intact. It's also, I don't know if you can see, but it's also stitched. It's just a decorative stitch all the way around the end, and it's got a slightly curved end to it. So if you were to just cut it off further down here, say it was 5 inches too long and you cut off 5 inches, technically that would work. However, you're going to end up with an unfinished end. It's going to look cut off, the stitching isn't going to continue, and the holes are going to go right to the end of the belt, which is something you want to avoid. You want to have that few inches at the end that's unholed, if you like, because you need to fasten the belt and then tuck it in. So what do? Well, you ignore that end and you concentrate on the buckle end. The buckle end is where we shorten a belt from, and in this case, sometimes the buckle will be stitched, saddle stitched here, and in this case it's just riveted, and it's riveted with a screw rivet, again with the Timberland logo on, so you'd want to preserve that. So we need to remove all of this, shorten the belt and put it back on again. So today I'm going to show you how to remove the buckle, shorten the belt, put it back on, and make it perfectly wearable for a shorter size. So first thing to do is to work out by how much the belt is too long. And the easiest way to do this, if you take a belt that fits you well already, then we just take that. Hopefully my trousers don't fall down, but we take that and use it as our guide. Now, that is the same style of belt. It's one that I worked on in a previous project, and we can see that that is that much too long. In this case, we are talking 4 inches, 4¼ inches too long. So you write that figure down, 4¼ inches, or about 11 centimeters. So 4¼ inches or 11 centimeters. And this belt's quite an interesting construction. It's got 2 keepers that are attached, and all of this top section is all attached together. So you want to deconstruct it and then reconstruct it in exactly the same way. So it's all held together by this one screw rivet. Usually just a few turns of the screw, and then you can take over with your fingers. There. So, and that's got a protective collar to it, so I'll keep that on. Take the rivet out on the other side. Keep these things safe. Now, the keeper goes inside there, and we want to keep that where it is. And then the second one is held in place by the rivet itself. Incidentally, when you are moving this, if you didn't want the second keeper for whatever reason, you think it's unnecessary or clutters the belt up, you can take that off either use this on another belt or discard it. But in this case, I think we'll put it back on. So put these to one side for a second, and we're going to work on the main part of the belt. Now, we said 4¼ inches, so it's the hole itself that needs to move 4¼ inches. We don't know necessarily where that hole is going to be, but that's the key part of it. The hole that holds the buckle on, that's the bit that needs to move, because the buckle and the whole arrangement at the top sits in relation to that hole there. So 4¼ inches. 4.25, and in the same spot, I'm going to use an awl to mark the spot. Make a clear hole right there. And I'm just going to check that that's centered. The width of the belt is 1.5 inches, and so the dot that we've just done needs to be at 0.75 inches. Just need to correct that slightly. If we get accurate at this stage, then it saves problems later on. Now, we then need to make a hole to replace this one. And that hole is going to be, we can either use a hole punch like this one, or one of the metal hole punches that you use a hammer with. Now, in this case, I'll use a slightly larger one, compare it to the existing hole, and that one looks perfect. And we'll put that in the center. I'll get my hammer. And there we are. Perfect second hole. And just to check that that's going to be the right size for the rivet, pop the rivet in there. Perfect. Hopefully you can see where the rivet's going to go. So far, so good. Now, how much do we cut off? Well, we also need to work out how far beyond the hole the top of the belt goes. And that's going to be, I'm going to do it from the edge of the hole to the top of the belt. And that's going to be, that's exactly 1 inch. Exactly 1 inch. So again, if I take the top of the hole and use my skiving knife, I can just make a nice neat cut all the way through there, and then just finish it off on the other side. So that bit is discardable, but as we've done in the past, I would hold on to that in case at some point you need to replace a keeper, or if for some reason you needed to extend the belt. I was asked on a comment in another video, how do you extend a belt? You know, we can shorten them fairly easily, but extending them is another job entirely. That's a job for another video. But again, you don't stick it back on the end where the buckle is, where it's obvious. You cut the belt in the middle and you put an insert into the middle of the belt, and that's a separate job entirely. Anyway, so let's see how this goes. We'll put this back together. So you put it back in the reverse order that you took it off. So let's get all the bits in the right order. That one goes on first, then that one, making sure that the second keeper is in place and all of the sections are in the right order. So what I'll do is, before I reattach the rivet, I'll just make sure that it all sits and looks as it should. So again, we've got the back part of the rivet and the front part of the rivet, and we want to make sure that the visible bit, the logo that you want people to see, is at the front. So we go front, the main part of the belt, where the second keeper is, and the last bit of the belt. Now, while holding all of these bits in place, I now need to try and put the screw back in. Now you need to try and keep some pressure on the back of the rivet while you're turning it, and try and catch the screw thread. I think that's caught already. It has, yeah. Feel it tightening. Okay, perfect. Then all we need to do is just straighten the logo slightly on the rivet. And there we have it, perfectly shortened. Now, I'm going to test drive this upon my own jeans and see if it's turned out correct. There. Perfect. So we've got a couple of holes on either side of the belt, the buckle. So there's plenty of room for expansion either way, a good couple of inches. And it's as easy as that. Now, the final thing that I'm going to do, because the belt, as you may have noticed, is looking a little bit dry, bit dry and worn at the end here, I'm just going to apply a little bit of my universal leather balm. All this does is softens, conditions, and protects the leather, and without leaving any messy residue. So should also even out the colour, any discrepancies in the colour where it's gone lightened or a little bit worn, and then hopefully that's it back to being good as new. But people always ask, why would you bother? Why would you bother? Why not just buy a new belt? And as I've said before, when you find a nice, full grain, good quality leather belt, it will last a lifetime with the right care. A lot of modern belts, the manufacturing of them, they cut corners, they use a sort of composite leather, a coated composite leather, which is, it's more like if you think of leather being the natural wood a lot of belts are made using the MDF version, like a chipboard version of leather. It's just all crushed together, and it behaves a lot like leather. It looks a lot like leather, but it's not. And you will know the difference when you have it for 5 years, and you start to see it cracking and wearing in the way that genuine a full grain leather wouldn't. So there we have a shortened and restored belt, very quickly, very easily, and in a much better condition than when we found it. I hope you enjoyed this, and if you have any comments, questions, or suggestions for what you'd like to see me doing next, please drop them into the comments and I will do my best to accommodate you. Anyway, until next time, take care. I'll see you very soon.